Of all the films I have trouble writing reviews for, superhero movies that exist only because they can are the hardest. छोटा रखेंगे इस रिव्यू को थोड़ा, आओ सुनो. Hey all, my name is Sucharita. Welcome back to my channel where we've got reviews, we've got some interviews, film festivals, the whole deal. Aaj aao, let's talk about Sean Levy's Deadpool and Wolverine starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, now in movie theaters.
Are you ready? Fuck yeah, I'm ready.
Now, if you remember my review of Siddharth Anand's Fighter, जिसको हम यहाँ लिंक कर देंगे ऊपर, there are some movies that I find exist in what I call the FFF, the formless film field. Here is a reminder of what that is. A dimension covered in a faint mist in which structure, acts, conflicts, journeys, and arcs loosely swirl around before vanishing wispily. It's a parallel, more simple realm where there is little difference between Instagram reels specifically created for our ever-shrinking attention span and what counts as cinema. The formless film field is filled with a frightening number of fan favorites, movie stars fawning all over each other, pretending to bring you big entertainment, but eventually only interested in the cartoonish money symbols flying around their viewers' heads. Special zones are reserved for copy universe writers, action movie sequel think tanks, and anyone remotely associated with a Marvel production. I have little new critique to offer on the new Deadpool movie because the movie itself has nothing fresh to present, cerebrally, visually, cinematically, even Ryan Reynolds-ly. Deadpool and Wolverine is a chaotic mix of action, meta, comedy, with the strong belief that it is filled with enough fan service to keep audiences entertained. However, the film is so lacking in any structural coherence, you'd be hard-pressed to point out any discernible beginning, middle, or end. तो इन दिस फिल्म डेडपूल एंड वुल्वरीन आर इन अ नेवर एंडिंग बैटल. डेडपूल को चाहिए कि वुल्वरीन वापस जिंदा हो जाए क्योंकि अपेरेंटली दैट्स द ओनली वे फॉर हिम टू सेव हिज टाइमलाइन. आई यूज्ड टू फॉलो दिस absurdity closely, even diligently some would say, but y'all, that ended around Loki season 1. तो दोनों लड़ते हैं आपस में पूरी फिल्म में and the fight scenes are, they're spectacular but pointless because both these characters are virtually indestructible. They pulverize each other for what feels like an eternity, fully aware that the audience knows neither is going to win, so the violence quickly begins to feel gratuitous. It's serving more as titillation than as storytelling. The titular characters continue their brutal dance, the eternal stalemate becoming stale rapidly. There are no real threats or stakes involved. To fans of the franchise, it may be entertaining, but it lacks the emotional depth that makes standalones like Logan or Joker even standout films in the superhero genre. एटलीस्ट यहाँ पे कुछ बात करने के लिए है तो सही. यहाँ पे एमा कॉरिन shows up as Cassandra Nova, the most lazily written Marvel villain till date. I don't know what the trailers and promotional materials have disclosed about her character so far, so I won't go into what she's doing, but when I tell you that there is a scene of hers with 2 hands inside a machine that's inside a New York City subway station, and the best way to show that she's not able to do what she wants to do is to make her shake her head violently, is really as far as the writers of the film, which are many, including Reynolds himself, have gone. A recurring joke in the film centers around the convoluted journey of intellectual property rights in Hollywood. Disney और Fox के बीच में क्या हुआ? After the first 2 humorous acknowledgements, does the audience care? Should they care? Ryan Reynolds, as one would expect, brings his signature irreverence to Deadpool. His influence is evident in the film's writing. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, thankfully, remains gruff, intense, and melancholic without going all drunk Thor. Another running joke in the film is Jackman having to come back to reprise a role he probably thought he was done with. But it's interesting and refreshing, and I'm thankful to see how nearly every other character makes self-referential jokes, including some delightful little cameos. But Hugh Jackman steadfastly remains sullen and sort of mad at the whole thing.
It's only 9 people, but my entire world is right here in this picture. And I have no idea how to save it alone, but you know how to save them.
This is a movie that exists because it can. A product of its time and circumstances, and you might say even a little late to the party. I didn't fully hate myself for watching it because at least for the most part it doesn't take itself too seriously. How good or bad that is, वो debatable है. With a soundtrack that's stuffed with chartbusters from the early 2000s, including an Avril Lavigne song I literally haven't heard since the early 2000s. Deadpool and Wolverine clearly mid-age millennials के लिए बनी है. The mid-credit scene is a beautiful and sentimental collage from when the first X-Men movies came out, and we got greats like Patrick Stewart, Halle Berry, Ian McKellen wearing tights, capes, and helmets. But even as a mid-age millennial who would have done absolutely anything James McAvoy asked her to without even using his Charles Xavier powers, and I continued this affection, instantly falling in love with the first Deadpool movie and everything it did to shake up the genre. The most exciting thing in this new one for me was seeing Karan Soni appear in a few scenes. Hashtag Dopinder forever. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, Deadpool and Wolverine is 4 scenes में है मैथ्यू मैकफैडियन ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा. तो अगर वॉर्म्स गैंस की तलाश और उम्मीद में जा रहे हो फिल्म देखने के लिए, सक्सेशन का फिनाले देख लो एक बार फिर से. यहाँ से जाने से पहले सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल. I've got a lot of really amazing, interesting things coming up for you. My name is Sucharita. Thank you for stopping by.